Hi there, Kris here with another vlog update for you. In this video, I suppose I'll be working more on my resin model for Warmachine again. Continue the batch painting as last vlog update didn't get a lot done. But in this one as well, I'll be trying to take some more of the comments from the previous vlog as well. So let's get right to work. Okay, so let's get to work. I'll be working on these little resin guys. I've gotten a whole bunch done. Zoom in a bit. And so I've gotten a few of them done. Not done, but mostly painted, I suppose. There's 20 of these guys to do, and so here, I'll show you how many are yet to be painted. I've got those 6 sitting there, and I have this many plus this many plus this many, and wait for it, this many more. So it's 20 dudes I have to do, 20 little duders. And I'm not going with all different colors. I've seen the way these models are done, and I'm not feeling like painting them all like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give them a, the bone color, and the bone will get done because it'll be shaded up to, a whitish. The metal is going to have a very, corroded look, but often the models look kind of like this guy looks like a Kador model. And so I don't think I'll be painting them like a Kador model. I think I'm just going to have it so that their armor and everything all looks all rusted, just so that the unit has more of a unified feeling instead of having this kind of kaleidoscope kind of effect over them all. And yeah, I think that'll be better visually, and so it should be lots of fun. Lots and lots and lots of fun. So 20 of these guys, and then plus Alexia, and I really like her. She's tough, and she's annoying. Everybody else seems to think she's quite annoying. So that's lots of fun. So now the question becomes, what do I paint? Their cloth parts, the cloth parts. I think we will paint them. Oh, I don't know. Let's go with a dark tan. It's not too close to the bone color yet. Kind of a mid-tone. Once the rust goes on, that'll add a bit more of a warmer tone to them too. So the models all have a very warm tone to them. I was thinking of gray, but I don't know if gray is going to work because it's more leathers and such. And so let's go with this. Shake the paints up. That's the boring part, isn't it? Shaking these paints up. And I did look up somebody, I had mentioned this before, and somebody had sent a link as far as like a little paint agitator. And so I was checking it out and reading some reviews, and apparently like the little thing, it sits on a plate, and like a little plastic strap goes over it, and it shakes the paint. And so I was reading that a lot of people were complaining that those little belts break on this one particular model, and so I don't know. I mean, how does it shake that violent that it's going to break a little belt? I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time, but I figured, whatever. So let's grab a little palette. I got my glass one here, but I use that one for filming videos and such, and so it doesn't get used for the fun videos. Well, you know what I've been using this brown for? I've been using this for the bases. Crap, you know what? I'm not going to use this brown. Let's pick a different brown. Let's go with Beastie Brown. You know what, let's mix the two. Because I already poured some. So let's keep that out so I don't forget what color I'm using here. Parasite brown is what I use. So I'd have to look it up real quick as to which color is like a Games Workshop or other company equivalent to it. But here, we're gonna use some Beastly Brown. And oh, I love that when you get the little chunks hanging from the bottle. Often all I do is I just use my little dry brushing cloth to wipe the excess away. Let's go with 1 drop. Let's go with a 1-to-1 mixture of this. No, that brush is too small. Let's go with, let's go with our trusty rusty standard brush. And so, let's mix up some paint. What kind of color? Actually, it's not bad. Yeah, it's a little bit warmer than brown. It's not quite, because I didn't also want to use a color that was too close to the bone color, you know, but that's not it. So let's do that. And so let's just start painting. Start getting some color down. Okay. So I guess I can start taking some of your guys' questions as I'm doing this. And of course, you know, I do try to read most of the comments, especially like some of the ones from the Vault videos and such, and so I do try and answer everybody's questions. Not always, but I try. I don't always get the opportunity to, but you know, I'm yet only one man, and I know a lot of you guys out there have a lot of technical questions and painting questions and such, and so, you know, I do try to answer them as best I can, as knowledgeably as I can. Knowledgeably? I don't even know if that word makes sense. Knowledgeably. Knowledge. I'm not sure what I'm talking about anymore. Again, oops. I hate when I do that. Hit the other areas like painting. Also too, I mean, like, you know, kind of rushing. I don't like rushing through my paint work. Even though like these guys are gonna be just little peons, you know, I still would like to do a decent enough job on that, you know, on the tabletop they're gonna look good. And so that's the hard part, is that finding that happy little balance of tabletop models to, you know, to your standards. And I mean, me, unfortunately, as it goes, is that, you know, people who are a little better at painting or whatever, you know, people always expect every paint job to be just awesome, and you know, that's just not the case, because I mean, sometimes, you know, the guy just wants to play too. And so that's me. I'm that guy. I just want to play. I mean, I love painting. I enjoy it. It's great. But I also like playing. And often I'm not huge on the, what is that in his midsection? Is that like skeleton guts? It's cloth. Let's say it's cloth. Could refer to the artwork of them, but oh well. Heck with it. And so, let's take a question. Yeah, I think that's cloth underneath. I think he's like wearing like a long tabard of something underneath his armor. I don't know. That's what it is now. I mean, it's kind of like long and stringy in his midsection, so I have no idea as to what it is. So, anywho, let's take a question. Now, I'm trying to remember where I left off the last video. And so I will just say, oh no, I did end there with the old friend of mine. He wrote in about my Elder Fleet. playing Battlefleet Gothic. And so somebody says, terrible spelling on the last post of mine. That's Ramius. So I completely agree. Oh, this is Ramius' comment, yeah. I completely agree about the specialist games, and I'm still thinking it's time to break out and redo my undead, dwarves, and chaos armies for a redo. Warmaster was really fun with simple rules, but nobody plays it anymore. No, Warmachine doesn't get played too often. Not Warmachine, excuse me. Warmaster. I personally never played it. That was one of the few specialist games that I never got into, but from what I understand, it was great fun. And yeah, it's it's unfortunate that if the game only has a mediocre amount of popularity, that it's not supported by the main company. And so like what's that about? Like, you have support. It has the possibility to expand. You can, like, anything and everything that is done in Warhammer Fantasy, for example. Even with the incorporation of the Forge World models, like the big giants and all the Chaos Dragons and stuff like that, like, that could have just made that game all that much better. And, it doesn't make a lot of sense, to not support those games that build upon the background of the game. Because Warmaster was like the epic version of 40K. And, the epic version of 40K was a great one. With all the Titans and, and then that's why from that enthusiasm for those games was the real reason why everybody wanted to do 40K large-scale battles. Because of that interest in those games, in the background, and just all the general chaos that comes from it. And it doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't support it and why you wouldn't want to expand on it, because what the heck is that part in there? It just baffles me. It just baffles me. The logic and the thinking behind such actions. That I realize that it's powered by the almighty dollar, but still, holy moly. Because the fiction, especially in Games Workshop's case, the fiction is a huge part of the gaming experience. And so that's mostly what it's about. And why would you not expand upon it and wish to draw more people's ideas into it and all of that? And it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And yeah. So let's take another question. I think I'm gonna leave these little boots black, and all these little leather parts will obviously be leather. And the fur on the collar. Yeah, we're gonna catch that with some browns as well. And so yeah, let's get some more browns in there. Maybe it's like rotting furs and such. And so, and of course I'm hitting the metal with the browns again. Just love doing that. It gets really annoying. And so when you're working with thin paints like this, when you hit those areas, at least it's not a huge amount of color to have to clean up afterwards. And so another drawback, or another bonus for working with your colors thinner. And if you're not working with your colors thinner, then you really should.